Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the next and final portion or episode of the Take the Leap series, where we'll be discussing business operations. I hope you have enjoyed what we've shared so far. If you've missed any of the episodes, please go back and watch them. Y'all, we have great information in there. Things you need to know, whether you've already taken the leap to be in business or you're still on the fence about it. This is great info that you need to know, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with you. And so let's get started. So we're talking about business operations today. And today I have my homegirl from Memphis and my fellow Grow with Google digital coach, Dana James Mwangi. And
Yes.
she is a creative. She is the founder of a creative agency called Cheers. And she is also an expert in business operations for creative people. So welcome, Dana. Thank you for joining me today.
Carmen, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
It's so good. I'm so excited about
I
having
am
you.
too.
I just can't get over it. Okay, so the reason this is happening is because I hear all the time, whether it's hairdressers, tattoo artists, bakers, wherever they are on the creative spectrum, I don't want to do business. I want to do X. I don't want to spend all my time doing business. I just want to do hair. I just want to bake cookies. I just want to paint murals. And I'm like, that's great. But if you don't answer these emails, you're gonna be broke.
Right, right.
So let's get into it and talk about some basic tools that creatives can use
Mhm.
to help them with their business.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about some basic tools that will allow you as a creative to work more in your business and not on your business, right?
Mhm.
I think that's the struggle with most creative entrepreneurs. We're artists, we are creatives, we're makers, and sometimes we don't have processes set up in our business to make things easier for us to get client work in and make things run more seamlessly. Now, of course, I'm going to say, yes, use Google tools. You know, I'm going to do that. Using things like Google Calendar, Google Sheets, Google Docs. Honestly, as a boss, you will find yourself planning and just refining the structure of your business and services in those apps, right? And then you supercharge the power of that by integrating all of that or using that all together with a project management system, a client management system. My favorite is Dubsado. Some people use HubSpot. um, I absolutely love Dubsado for creatives. And it is something that integrates with Google Tools very easily. And the reason why I like it is, here's the thing. Here's one of the big headaches that creatives get. A lot of times we'll use 10 different programs to run our business. We got a separate calendar, appointment calendar booking schedule, a separate invoicing system, a separate contract signing software, separate this and separate that. Something like Dubsado or HubSpot, or there's a new one called Paperbell for consultants. They integrate all of those features into one platform. And the less programs you have to use, the more seamless your business will be and the less complicated it will be. When you have all these different, when you're using all these different programs, nothing wrong with that, especially when starting out, because you might be using the free version of this, the free version of that. But it also costs to do that. And so you are actually lowering your costs and increasing the time you have to be creative or whatever else by having everything you need to do to operate your business under one house as much as possible.
That's good to know because I think for most creatives, they're most interested in one-stop shop. Like, where is this one place I can go to find out everything I need to know about my business? And I'm like, yeah, you need to, put that stuff together, think about it more broadly. But it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to do it. So in your work, have you encountered why some people are hesitant? Is it just they don't know what tools to use based on their type of creative expression, or is it something else? What's preventing folks from just signing up on stuff and putting it all together?
Well, there are two reasons why I believe creatives are reluctant to really engage in that business side of business. Number one, it's so much technology out here that it's really easy to become addicted to just researching the program, what programs to use, right? You
Mhm.
can really get caught up in that because there's so many choices out there. But this is what I always tell creatives: pick your tech and go. Pick the tech and go. As you grow, you will probably be more informed on what kind of software you need and what kind of tools you need to run your business, and you can make a transition plan to other platforms later. But right now, we got to get the money coming into the business. We have to nurture the clients. We need to engage in those type of activities. So there's paralysis by too many choices, and it can be quite addicting. Looking up all of these different platforms instead of just going with one and taking it to the max and doing and using it how you can use it. You know, I used Dubsado within the first month of fully using it. I made 18 grand, and I was like, okay, my business needs an engine. Okay. So this is what allows you to not miss a sale. This is what allows you to not let things fall through the cracks. Okay. Another reason I think that creatives are reluctant to be kind of more on the business side of things and to really take care of project management and business operations is because it seems overwhelming. And when you don't have a certain way that you do things,
Mhm.
then it will be overwhelming. There's a way to uncomplicate your business operations process. There's a way to simplify how it is the everyday tasks you need for your business to run and make money, nurture leads, nurture clients, get sales without you having to manually do it. And even in the beginning, what I know about a lot of creative entrepreneurs, including myself, when you first start out in business, you are a party of one. And
Mhm.
so when you like a photographer, a web designer, I mean, hey, you are the administrator, you are the bookkeeper, you are the bill collector, you're the creative, but you're also the operations manager. So even in the beginning, really fine tuning how you deliver your work and outlining every step, and then deciding, okay, what parts of my service can be automated, or in other words, taken care of by tech. I set it up one time and it's done, and you let the programs and things handle it. Now check this out. When you have listed out everything, every step your business needs for every service, it's almost like you're writing your own handbook. So you are simultaneously automating your business and preparing yourself to hire somebody, because now you can show them, this is how my business is run and I need you to do XYZ. So even when you first start out as a party of one, as a solopreneur, if you go in it with this boss mindset and document everything and not keep your process in your head, you are making yourself ready to hire help.
That's awesome. So for those of us who are, maybe you already took the leap. Maybe your leap was a little bit premature. Right?
Most of us.
Right. Most of us, you just jumped on out there, and we out here. So how can we reclaim that bossness, that
Right.
that control over our business once the engine is already going? So how do we
Already go.
do it at the same time as we run the business?
Okay, business owners who have already leaped, I know what that feels like, because now you have to restructure your business. So for a lot of us that came from a 9 to 5, our side business became our 5 to 9 as we built it into our full-time business. Then we started our business. And then we realized the way we're doing business is not working for us. So now we have to create a new structure for our business. So our current business becomes our 9 to 5. And you are trying to restructure your business from 5 to 9. And it can be quite draining. It can be difficult, but you can do it in digestible, manageable chunks. When you have to do that, when you have to restructure your business, and everybody has to do it. It doesn't matter if you're a franchise or just a party of one. I mean, when you look at McDonald's or Wendy's and they shut down to build a brand new facility that's up to their architecture code and and all that stuff, that's them pausing for a minute to restructure to come back better. The difference is, yeah, they got hundreds of employees and they've got different things. But what you will need to do as a solopreneur is set aside dedicated time every day to restructuring your business from the inside out. And with a lot of tech out there like Dubsado, Monday.com, things like that, there are tutorials out there that show you how to do it. And one thing I love about Dubsado is the trial is free as long as under 3 people have contacted you via one of their forms. So if you integrate the forms by putting them on your website. So basically, just take your time setting up Dubsado, setting up forms, contracts, email sequences for individual clients, workflows for services, and then integrate it with your website and then get the full yearly subscription. So just, but if you do it right, you're going to release a lot of pressure off of yourself. And also, now here's also the other thing. The truth is there are a lot of people out here that specialize in the setup of workflows. Okay. I've seen Dubsado specialists, Monday.com specialists. So it may be in your best interest at this point to hire someone. You have to ask yourself, how much is your time worth? It may be in your best interest to get somebody and hire them to automate your contact, at least these parts right here of your business. Contact inquiry process, and then the process of getting a deal and nurturing that client through getting a deal. Because if you're charging like 5 figures, there needs to be some emails coming after that, right? To nurture, to nurture that project. So how do you do that automatically? So I hope all that made sense.
Well, it made sense to me. And I wanted to, I wanted to say it because one, it's part of like growing, particularly if you had to pivot in the pandemic. That means you got new processes. We have new processes.
We all do.
It's just part of just having to be nimble and dynamic as a business owner to roll with the punches. But another thing that we were talking about that I heard you mention more than once is moving into staffing. Whether that is contracting with someone to help you build out your workflows, or bringing on someone part-time, or contracting other people to do other things. So how do you prepare for that, and how do you pick the right person? I know you talked about documenting, but just take for granted we didn't really document. We don't know. Like, we know we need help, but it's like, how do you know what you need help with?
Right. So here's the thing. This is why this training is so important, because I'm telling you how to get ready to hire. And the question you asked me was, how do you know you're hiring the right person? You can be hiring the perfect person and it still will not work out if you are not ready to delegate tasks to a person. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have to be ready to hire. You have to be ready. So if you have, like, literally starting with, at least, even in a Google Doc, just thinking about how you want to go through your contact process and getting discovery calls or intro calls or sales calls or what that is. And then thinking through the process of sending invoices, contracts, and welcoming a client and doing the project kickoff meeting. Those are 2 processes. If you don't do anything else, think those processes through. And I'm sitting here telling you now, that's the work you can start on first. And so when you know your process is inside and out and it's documented, you become a good boss. And now you actually make whoever you hire better. It's almost like if I come to a copywriter, knowing my brand, knowing who I am, that copywriter is going to produce great copy. But then I could be working with the top copywriter in the world, and they could tell me if my brand is off, hey, I don't think I can write for you. Same thing applies to VAs. Same thing applies to people who do automation. You need to know ask yourself, and this will really let you know, what are the things you're doing in your business over and over and over and over that you wish you could hand off to somebody? Are you tired of answering emails all day? Are you tired of having to go back and forth with your client? Let me know what day and time works for you to have a meeting. That is a very simple fix. That is a very simple fix. I will tell you, there is nothing I love more than looking at my phone, getting paid, and because I have systems, I can see the client getting paid. I can see the client has paid me. I can see the client has filled out my intake form. I can see that the client has set up their appointment with me and that an email has been sent to prepare them for the appointment. I know that that is done. Quite honestly, that happened just a few minutes ago. And it just gave me such a satisfying feeling. And as you can see, those type of things are the things that allow me to emerge as a leader in my field. It is very hard to ascend as an industry authority and remain the main admin in your business at the same time. You can do it, but you're gonna go to the hospital. It's gonna
Oh, well, yeah.
You know, I know. Okay. You can do it, but it's hard to get there. And then you'll start seeing an income cap. You'll be stuck at 100K. You'll be stuck at 75K. And that's it. That's cool and all right. But we want to grow higher. We want to have multiple six figures.
Absolutely. And I like the things that you touched on, because the session before this one covered health, physical and mental health. And the
Yes.
first session covered finance. It is really important that people understand that your business operations actually affect those things. Like
Yes.
Dana said, if you wear yourself out, you burn yourself out. If stress is something that you feel physically, it will manifest in health issues, physical health issues, as
Yes.
well as mental health issues if you don't have good business operations. Similarly, as she spoke about her income, having clean, streamlined business operations also brings you in more revenue,
It
and it
does.
also can decrease your overhead.
Yes, it can.
So
Absolutely.
I can't stress enough to look into these tools that Dana is talking about, to really figure out how to move your business into another space so you can enjoy it. Um, I really, I don't like grind culture. I don't like these ideas that entrepreneurship is supposed to be some
Mhm.
everlasting trudge through
No,
the depths of Hades. It's like part of this is also building the life that you want
absolutely.
and using your business to facilitate that. And Dana, would you like to talk about? I know you've had some testimony about your life and how you've changed some things around for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
So, would you like to share with us how improving your business and how
Yes.
your outlook on life has changed your life?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. First of all, Carmen, I have to touch on everything that you've done. Everything that you've put together is flowing together so beautifully. To talk about self-care, finances, and business operations for an entrepreneur, there is no self-care without proper pricing and business operations, and or having your business to operate smoothly. It just won't happen. So talks about self-care, business operations, and appropriate pricing, they have to go hand in hand when we talk about entrepreneurship. Now, many years ago when I started my business, I didn't have a sleep schedule. I did not have a client management system because I'm like, you know what? I'm saving money. I'm saving money. I'm saving money using all these free programs instead of having the mindset that I need to save my time. And I'm going to be honest with you. When my son was 6 years old, he said, Mommy, if this is what working from home or working, yeah, he didn't say working remotely, but if this is what working from home looks like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be at a desk all day. Do you know that punched me in my gut? That punched me in my gut. And I was like, I have to change this because this is a lesson. I'm teaching my son good lessons, but I'm also teaching him not so good lessons too. Can't help that when you're a parent. So I said, I don't want to teach my son that work is hard to come by and that you got to grind. That grind culture, I was teaching him that at 6 years old. And I didn't mean to, So that's but one of the things that motivated me to make a change. Also, along with having low paying clients, not setting boundaries in my business, because if you have business operations, that means you got some boundaries you have to set too. If there's no
Mhm.
meetings on Mondays, under any circumstance, take a meeting on Monday, right? Right? Or you don't make due dates on Monday, right? So I didn't have that together. I didn't have a schedule. I did not have just a solid way of doing things, a list or a way of doing things. I was just winging it because as a designer, I was like, I was taught just how to design, but I wasn't taught how to do business. I had to learn that on my own. And I had to get out of a scarcity mindset and say, hey, I need to quit using all these free programs and pay for the cost of doing business and go ahead and get premium um, premium platforms that allow me to integrate everything into one platform. And so when I was operating in the scarcity mindset, that affected my health because I was ripping, running around. Can you imagine being called to do or to fly, being flued out, okay, but pre-COVID, to do an international speaking engagement, and I'm, before my talk, uh, emailing a client. At that point in my career, I can't do that. There's no way I can be a leader and be doing heavy admin work in my business. And so before I realized that, my body took a hit. I was pre-diabetic. Um, I was sleepy all the time and tired. I felt older than I was. And just I had a lot of problems with my back, pains in my back, all types of stuff. And I had issues with anxiety. Okay. Now, when I started putting these systems in place, this is what I noticed. I had more time to spend with my children. I was able to command even more money for my services because the automation and the business operations allowed me to nurture my client in a way that my competitors who don't have systems simply cannot. So they're paying for better treatment from me, right? Um, and also, I lost 44 pounds. I lost 44 pounds in 6 months. I have to put a disclaimer out there. That's not going to happen with everybody. I just know that my body needed to go to whatever ideal state it needed to be in because it wasn't. If I was pre-diabetic and all these other things, I also had a huge hump in my back. That hump disappeared. I show my back now. Like, this is very serious. The way you do business can affect your craft and your love for the craft. It can affect your physical health. I also, in addition to business operations, I put it like this. So right now, people are paying me right now on my phone, right? And they're being guided through my process. I have to resist the urge to pick up the phone and be like, oh yeah, I'm so glad you in. Like, I have to allow my operations that I have set up to do the nurturing. I have to set boundaries for myself. I hope I answered that. I answered that question.
Yes. I mean, but that's it. Like I even, I'm in the same boat. I'm enrolled in a productivity course by a local leader here, and it has changed
I
so
bet.
much of the way I look at my tasks. Like I have things now, okay, I'm ready to delegate this, I'm ready to delegate this don't even matter. Like my unsubscribe game is so strong because I
Yes.
don't want to sift through hundreds of emails. Like I don't, that's just not how I want to spend my morning.
Mm-mm.
So if I can't recognize it, or if it's like just weird stuff, I'm spamming people. Like I am ruthless about my inbox. And
Right.
I think like we have to really disabuse ourselves of these notions around what an entrepreneur looks like,
Right.
what it means to be busy or successful, and
Yes.
like what that performance is, because
Yes.
we get caught up. And I really think that a lot of folks, they get stuck in that cycle and they don't know how to get out.
Can I want to say this. Sometimes we can be addicted to the admin. because it numbs us and keeps us from taking bigger leaps in our business because we're busy all day answering those emails, knowing full and well you need to go ahead and create a program and get some folks enrolled in that program. And so we get to use admin work as CEOs. We get to use admin work as an excuse to hide behind our fear and say, well, I'm working in the business. But that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be creating new things, premium content, engaging with your audience. So sometimes we can get addicted to the admin because we're dealing with anxiety. Who talks about that? Who talks about that? And then we have to undo this idea of what busy is and productivity is and success is and define that for ourselves. We have to give grace to ourselves, which is hard because we've been taught that our worth is tied up in how much we produce. Not how we produce it, but how much we produce.
Absolutely.
And so reward yourself for taking smart cuts, not shortcuts, smart cuts. Reward yourself for resting because you're letting your automation or the people that help you take care of your business. That's productivity too.
Oh, that's definitely it. I mean, I don't know a more beautiful way to put it. It's the idea that you have to do everything, and particularly as Black women, the superwoman trope, and it's
Oh
like
yeah.
you doing this, and it's like I just want to go to sleep, or or it's like I want to catch up on my shows. I don't want to sit here all night long, and
Right.
I think that the service that this series will provide will give people an alternative way of looking at success and having them think differently about what it means to be in business so that taking the leap into business isn't as overwhelming as it was before.
Absolutely.
It can be done healthily, it can be done in a way that's financially sound, and it can be done in a way that allows you to live the life that you want.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So is there anything you want to share that I did not ask you? Because you have
Um,
so many gems. Like y'all, Dana be knowing.
you be knowing. What can I say? Um, so what's funny is we're talking about as CEOs and as bosses of a company, we have to redefine what success looks like, right? We have to redefine what success looks like for us. But one true sign of business growth is the fact that you are going to need to hire someone someday, whether that's an employee, an outsourcer, or whatever. So I don't get when entrepreneurs say that employment is slavery because when you grow and you're a boss, you are going to hire someone. So check this out. You get to redefine what it means to be a boss, and you get to redefine the 9 to 5 experience for employees to where they love their work and they feel good working for you and they feel like they're growing. You get to also work against that entrepreneurship and slavery mentality, and you get to have employees like just willing and ready and just excited to work with you because you treat them with respect and because you are organized. I hope that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. And another point I'd like to add is that when we talk about equity in the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
it can't just be us going after these large corporations or other businesses that already exist to get them to shift their culture.
Right.
Part of being an entrepreneur in growing your business is that you get to create equitable workplaces.
Yes,
You
you do.
become a refuge
Yes.
for your people to not only enjoy their work, as Dana was saying, but to be treated well, to be paid appropriately, and to have a different experience than they would have had at a larger company that did not share your values.
Right.
So, growing your business is not just great for you financially, but it's also great for the community
Yes,
because
it is.
to create the workspaces that we are demanding from other companies that are not changing fast enough.
Right.
And I just wanted to put that in there because that
That's
is
that's it right there.
like that is so important as we talk about equitable pay, as we talk about workplace
Mm-hmm.
demands, folks not wanting to go back to work because it's like
Right.
ain't no microaggressions at my house.
Okay. Now, Carmen, if you don't mind, that brings me to my next point. Use the
Okay.
fact that you are a party of one right now to your advantage. Because the truth is, the bigger the company, the bigger the mess. And those
Yes,
companies end up hiring people like you to come fix their mess. You
that
know
is
what I mean?
what
And
they
so
do.
if you see that pattern, if you see if you see that pattern, you have an opportunity. Small business owners get to be nimble. You get
Mhm.
to adapt quickly. And that is a huge advantage right now in this digital age and also in the era of COVID. You can make a new choice
Mhm.
tomorrow if you want to.
Absolutely. And I say do so. I mean, you know, we thought, at least I did. I thought last year this time, I thought, oh, by next year this time, we'll be in a different spot. Turns out we're not.
You're not.
We're not, but it doesn't mean that you still can't be successful. And it's very, very important that we look at it with a glass half full mentality and really think about how we can really help somebody.
Yes.
What problems can we solve?
Yeah.
Um, and that can really help you expand your business revenues. And you can do, like she said, you can do that more quickly than a large company because you're on the ground. You are the everyday people, the people you bump into at the grocery store,
Yep.
at the hair salon, at the
Yep.
barbershop. Every time you interact with somebody is a customer discovery.
It is.
Learning your people, learning your audience, and being able to implement that quickly into your business operations to try something out, even if it doesn't work, at least you
At
tried.
least you know
And
you're
now
that's
people,
if you're an entrepreneur, you're a scientist.
absolutely.
You're only and so that takes the pressure off of things having to be perfect. You get to try new ways. You're not new at what you are offering. You may be new at how you're offering it. You're still an expert. I'm just experimenting on how to serve up my expertise to you. And so what you said about, getting in the community and knowing your community, I'm going to take that for myself. I'm just going to let you know that. But you get to directly
Mhm.
see what your customers need and adapt according to their needs
Mhm.
quickly.
Absolutely, absolutely. This has been so good. And the people who miss this are going to be so mad
They're gonna be
and
mad.
so left behind. Like this is an actual, like these three episodes have been more information than I had when I first
Of
started.
course.
And I am so thankful to everyone, including Dana, for joining me in this series. It has been so enjoyable, and I'm just so fired up about this information. And it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on my social media, so you can go back and watch it if you missed it, or watch it again if you missed the nugget. All right, Dana, this has been great. Let the people know where they can find more about you and your business.
Okay. So the name of my consultancy is Cheers Creative, and that's where we do branding and web design and strategy for industry leaders or anybody looking to do what it takes to ascend to the top. You can go to www.cheerscreative.com. Okay. And you can follow us online everywhere at Cheers Creative. Okay. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Same thing with my personal brand, DanaJamesMwangi.com, www.danajamesmwangi.com. And I'm everywhere online at Dana James Mwangi. And if you type my name in LinkedIn, you'll find me on there. I love LinkedIn. Don't sleep on it, okay? I'm telling you now. Anyway, you can find me online there. And I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. And make sure y'all sign up for our Girl with Google Digital Coaches trainings as well.
Yes, please.
Make sure y'all sign up. Come hang out with us virtually on Google Meet and learn some free digital training skills and other good information to make sure you can run your business as smoothly as possible. Because we need you here. We need more Black businesses. We need more Latin businesses. We need more LGBTQ plus businesses. We need everybody. As my granny would say, it's gonna take all of God's children.
Yes,
um,
we
all
gotta
of
be we
it was,
got to be here and whole, here and whole, and
yeah.
business operations plays a big part in that. You're exactly right.
Absolutely. So thank you again, Dana, for joining me. helping me close out this series of Take the Leap. It has been a pleasure, and I look forward to hanging out with you in the future. And hopefully, one day soon, fingers
One
crossed,
day.
in person.
That I would love that. That would be awesome. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed myself. You know, I got 20 more things to say and I keep talking. So I thank you for giving me the time to talk. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. So, y'all, again, thank you for joining me on this series. It has, like I said before, it was a joy of mine and really a calling that I feel to spread good information to people about how to start their business and to assuage those fears and teach you that entrepreneurship is not just a way to make money, but it's a way to make your life. And you get to decide. You get to decide what kind of life that you have. So please watch these over and over again if you have to. Share them with folks. Hit me up on social media if you will have any questions or want to discuss certain things that we talked about. This information is for you to use and for you to share to create more healthy businesses and more healthy entrepreneurs. So, again, thank you very much. Remember to follow me on social media if you're not already, and subscribe to the YouTube page. And I will see y'all on the internet soon. Thanks.